Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about breakups. So, breakups today. So, why breakups, Ali?
Because everybody experiences a breakup at least once in their life, and it's quite a traumatic experience. That's the reason we want to cover it and help you guys to how to overcome it in a constructive and positive manner.
Because a lot of the students that we have, I think probably about 60-70% of them have a breakup in some period of their lives. Most of them could be quite just before the course they take with us.
Yeah.
Some probably a long time ago, and they haven't been able to get over it.
Yes.
So we feel like that maybe if this video could help them understand that they can relate to some of the problems that we'll discuss, and then hopefully we'll come to a solution.
And also know that you're not alone. Everybody experiences something similar or made similar mistakes. So we are going to be talking about our own experiences, the experience of our students, and solution ideas.
Okay, cool. Right, so we're going to talk about the first topic, which is where guys go wrong with things they do to cover their true feelings. Which one that we cover is the guys who go around and look to sleep with a girl straight away in a way of hiding or faking their emotions and make it out that they're normal, everything's fine, they're not hurt and they've moved on. That's something I did. That's something you did, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
My version of it is I did it, and I was very good at hiding. I was very good at lying about my feelings, and I was very good at covering it up and making the next girl I meet feel extra special about herself. And I was doing that, even though it wasn't really true. It was just I was playing this fairy tale in my head, like everything was fine. And once that night was over, I'd wake up and I'd be like, "What am I doing here?" And I would just leave.
Yeah. But how long did that last?
About 6 months. 6 months of me doing it, probably quite a few times in a month. I know that was a continuous pattern. There's a continuous pattern with a couple of breakups I did, but it's something I did. What about you?
Well, I think in my case, the first time around, it took me literally a year.
Oh, what, a year to do a year of this?
Of this, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I didn't even, to be honest, I have to be honest with myself, and I didn't even realize I was hurting because like there will be this need for like a company, and it's something to take my thoughts and emotions off of that particular topic. So I would just go out, I would meet my friends, I would try to constantly be involved with people and around people, and I would flirt, but I didn't actually have any motivation whatsoever to take it further. Even if I met an amazing woman, I think I must have.
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask actually. Do you think you met any amazing girls in that period of time where you?
I must have, but you know what I did? I think most guys do this. I compared them.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the comparing is a bad thing, but I never really got to do that. I actually just ignored it. Like even if they were good, I just didn't see it as that. I just used it for what I felt. I was very selfish. So I used it for my needs. Once my need was done, I moved on. I was very cold, and I think I met, for the 2 times I did it, I think I met maybe like 3 different girls, which I would, if I met without that going through my system, I would have probably been in a relationship with.
I think what I did is I got scared. I was just thinking, because I wasn't as emotionally mature and experienced as I am now. By then, I think I got scared, but I couldn't admit that I was scared of repeating same mistakes, because breakup is very painful, so I was like, why don't I just make it very short and sweet and just get out before anybody gets hurt, because once you're in the ring, you can't pull your punches. So I thought I'd just shadow boxing a little, or just put my feet in the water a little and just jump back, as opposed to go into the water and swim properly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys that do that are kind of guys who are very good with women and very confident in themselves, and they will go out and do that kind of thing. Maybe not completely in tune with themselves, but very confident in expressing a figment of a lie to everyone else. The other one that we get, which is the second topic, and the other one that we get is with a lot of our students, is the kind of guy that hides a little bit, stays indoors and doesn't leave the house and avoids social situations, and kind of just feels uncomfortable in everything that involves them ever opening up. And a lot what they do is just hide everything, rather than going out and meeting someone and faking it and then going out to get what they want. they kind of bottle everything up, and it's more like based on self-blame, isn't it?
Yeah, and also self-pity.
Self-pity, yeah.
Because what happens is, I guess, that's what we have seen from our sessions, because it's important for us to get to know the problem and find out exactly and identify exactly what the issue is, so we can tailor-made our solutions. So what we have seen, correct me if I'm wrong, is that this goes around in their minds. Like, they keep asking the same question: what could I have done to save the relationship? If I've done this, would it work differently? I should have said this. It's a lot of regret. Okay, and they blame themselves, and all of a sudden the girl becomes this perfect creature that couldn't have done anything wrong.
Yeah, but I think like it's kind of, they believe everything they had was amazing and it was the perfect thing, and then they completely ruined it. Yeah. But those are the guys that we come across, and I believe it's more of an introverted kind of thing, because a lot of the guys that we have are guys that wouldn't really make themselves available to women. They would be afraid to talk to the next girl. They would hate the idea of replacing the previous girlfriend or wife they were with. And I think it's something that a lot of introverts will do, is that they bottle everything up, and it's very much easier just to take it all in and just try to forget what happened.
Yes.
And then just say, well, you know, I forgive easily, or I can move on easily, and it doesn't affect me. But it doesn't. What happens is that you end up bottling everything in, and when you bottle everything in, it turns you into a different arsehole of a person. Yes. You lose your friends, you lose the people that are close to you, you become unsociable. Yeah. You actually damage your own self image more than anything else in that. Instead of just holding it all in, bottling it up and thinking you're doing yourself a favor without talking about it, you're actually doing the complete opposite and damaging yourself. Yeah. And then that's just something that we get a lot.
Yep, that's true. Because what also happens is, and it creates this loop, meaning that because there's no feedback from other people, your blind spots gets wider and wider. And when you don't have any feedback, when you are happy with your own voice and this inner dialogue of negativity, it's very difficult for you to get out of it. Because I think we find it very difficult sometimes, or not difficult but challenging, to get these people to feel good about themselves and give themselves enough credit to try again, go into the next relationship being a better person, more mature.
No, I agree with that one. And it's it's a horrible thing to do. Yeah. The other one that we came across, the third main or the third highest rank common theme that happens with men is that they go onto social media, and women do it too, but men, you know, we're picking on men on this one because it's something that can be easily avoided, but men do it a lot, where they go onto social media and express everything on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is, Twitter, and they go out there and they look for validation from other people. Yeah. And they want to share their story to everybody. They feel like everyone should know how horrible this person was, or you know how everything's gone wrong, and they blame everyone else. Yeah. And instead of just doing that, it's a very toxic way of thinking, of setting blame on things that you literally, there's two stories. I always believe there's two stories to it, and a lot of it is kind of diluted through what goes through your mind, and when you put it out there, what are you doing? You're not doing yourself any favors, are you?
Do you remember that guy that we know both? We were playing football for Americans called soccer, and he was very upset. Remember, I asked, so dude, what's up? He said he just broke up with his girlfriend, and we were like, what happened? And he said, she cheated on me, she's a terrible person, I did all of this, and like she just threw our 5 years of a relationship away just like that. And then and he was putting all this like stupid and crazy stuff on Instagram and Facebook, what have you. And then 3 weeks later, they were back together. And then we're supposed to like smile and nod and just pretend that none of that happened. She's all of a sudden a good person, an amazing person.
Yeah.
It was weird. Everyone thought that what a toxic relationship, and everyone was talking behind them and everything. Yeah. It was really bizarre. I mean, I don't understand how we can go around talk such bullshit and horrible stuff about the person you were with, then be okay with it and just forget it and just get back. Or I don't know. I mean, like I think maybe sometimes people feel if they, paint that person in such a negative light, they would come out of the whole thing as like smelling of roses.
I mean, this side of it, this side of the topic, by expressing themselves through social media, we do say you shouldn't bottle anything up, but this is the wrong way of doing it. Yeah. But what you're doing is that you're getting not only your close friends involved in this, which is probably the right thing to do, but you're getting outside circle friends, people that you hang out with now and again, and you see now and again, to know things about you that's unnecessary to know. Because, like you said, that guy went and got back with his girlfriend, and it made it awkward everywhere they were out. Now, if imagine put yourself in that situation, you go out there and you dog the person you were with so badly that everyone creates this picture of who they are. Can't believe she did this, 5 years down the drain, she went and cheated on me, and this, that, and the other. And it was, you know what? And at the end of the day, that guy who writes all this will forgive her. And when she came back and forgives her, and then now introduces her back to you guys, the outside circle of friends, you all got to pretend like nothing was said, everything's fine, and it's all happy, hunky-merry, and it all smells of roses, and butterflies are flying around, and whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. No. So those are the three main topics that we've covered in it. Those are our experiences that we've encountered, whether it's personally or through everyone else. You guys got any questions about it, please, after the end of the video, please send it through. The next one we're going to talk about is how we dealt with it and what was the best way of dealing with these things. And obviously my image of what I did and what you did in regards to going around and for me sleeping with as many women as possible until I got over it was a very, very wrong thing to do.
Well, why?
The reason why is because I always believed I can deal with it myself. Like most things in my life, I just deal with it myself. With regards to health problems or issues in the house or family or friends, I try to deal with it myself. Even if it means I have to burn a bridge with someone, I will eventually fix it again. Like it's just how I tend to work. In relationships, I was too scared of doing that in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Now it's a little bit different. I'm a little bit older now, and I don't need to try to. Now I know who I am. I don't need to try to be someone I'm not. But back then, I just kind of slept around and thinking that was the way to do it. But now when I look back on it, at that age, I was 21, 22, going through it. I don't blame myself. Mm-hmm. But if I looked at it now, and I could tell that 22, 21, 22-year-old, I would say it very differently. You had close friends, very close friends, people that were loyal to you, people that were friends then who are still friends now. They would have sat there and listened to me. Yeah. And they would have gave me their advice, and they would have showed support, and they would have gone the extra mile to be there for me. Where regard it was just to give me a call or knock on my door or, we're going out, invite me out, that kind of thing. I just didn't want to feel like I wanted to be a burden to anyone. But you're not really a burden, because if my friends are going through it, the first thing I do is I tell them to talk to me. Yeah. And they do, because I do this. Yeah. So they do. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I totally agree with most of what you said. The first time that happened, I think I was ashamed. I didn't want to talk with my friends, because I thought I fucked up.
But you did a huge commitment, though. You left the country and everything else.
Yeah. But that was to do with some other bits and pieces. Okay. So it's all combined. But it was very difficult. I couldn't. I think what I was feeling was this. To be honest and frank, is that I was like, wow, I'm not good enough. I know everything. I know all this. I'm such an amazing guy. Whatever. It was ego. Yeah. Still, it didn't work out. So I must be a terrible person. I must be not worthy of love or etc. So if I share this with my friends, then their opinions of me would be lowered, and then I will lose my friends too. So I think sometimes people feel that way. But then after a few days, I realized it's a stupid thing, and then I shared it with my best friend, and she was very helpful. She listened to me for half an hour without interrupting, asked few questions and etc. and she actually laid it out to me. She said, "This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen," which was I'm gonna feel really like terrible. That I'm gonna try to blame her.
Yeah.
And no, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do that. It really helped. So we would. She said, "Look, I'm here for you anytime you need, day and night." And then she said, "Also, talk to other people, people that are really close to you," which I did.
Yeah.
But there are 3-4 people that helped quite a bit. So what I did was, instead of loading everything on one person, I kind of divided up.
Yeah, you spread it out.
Yeah, spread it out, and I think it was good because I also understood everybody has their own issues. They're your friends, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be there 24/7.
Yeah, yeah.
And you shouldn't be expecting them to just take everything from you, being loaded onto them. So, but if you spread it around to 3-4 people and also have a bit of a me time, and things would be much better. But that's the difference between my second and last one, the last breakup, which happened like this, and then the first one I didn't even talk to anybody. No one really knew. Like they understood because I broke up with my girlfriend because I was walking around flirting, getting numbers, trying to go on dates. So that was the difference.
I think when I spoke to my first friend about it, when I sat down, they were a bit shocked I even spoke about it because they all knew me as the guy who just dealt with it. And they always felt like he never had any issues. Like, my friends were shocked that I had problems. I was very good at hiding it, very good at swallowing it up and moving on and dealing with it. That it shocked everybody. Everyone was like looking at me in very weird looks. And I always felt like that was, I didn't want to put down someone. But you know what? They're your friends for a reason. People pick you as a friend for a reason. They're going to be there through your tough times. Otherwise, they're not really friends.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they are. And if they are your friends and they're truly your friends, and family is just a strong, you got to speak to somebody, you got to get it out there. And the more you talk about it, and when you release it out your system, get it out verbally, not through writing on social media.
Yeah.
It really helps. Really helps, and it frees up your shoulders as well. So something you should definitely look into.
And also, like, I'm sorry to cut you off there. Like sometimes when you talk about your issues with your friends, and if they're your true friends, they can point out hard truths. Because I remember trying to painting this girl in this, amazing colors and everything, and my friend said, "Well, didn't you have this? Didn't you have that problem? Weren't you talking about this at one point?" And I'm like, "Did I?" I was like, "Yep." And they're like, you realize, right? She was not perfect, and not everything you had was like such, high level of perfection or quality. There were bad things as well as good things.
Okay.
I don't think you're looking at it objectively. I mean, there were some really choice words that kind of snapped me out of my reverie. I have to be honest. Like that's what you want, though. Like you don't want them to just be all nice and huggy. You also want them to be truthful to you and then be direct with you. That's really helped me as well, actually.
I mean, like the other thing that we talk about is creating a supporting network. So the supporting network is to have your friends around you, to the people you can go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, guys, if you and girls, but guys mostly, if you do have these issues, we're very good at bottling things up and trying to live with a life without expressing. But create a good network, a good support network around you. People that you can go to, advice, whether it's asking for relationship advice, asking about life, business, financial, whatever it is. People that you can go to and actually speak to. When you start expressing that to them, you start growing a different type of friendship. And it becomes a lot closer. So it's something I would definitely look into having and growing. Yeah. And the other thing is that we spoke about was just going out and actually speaking to people and creating just a network of social friends, which is something that probably I could have done being the extrovert that I was. I was out there speaking to a lot of people. Maybe I should have taken more time and instead of just speaking to people that I felt like I could take them home or go home with them, just speak to people that I actually wanted to believe that I was going to build a good social circle around me, that when I go out, I have people around me that I can spend my time with. Because a lot of guys, what they do is the ones that bottle it up and don't really go out, is that they don't want to socialize. And we do explain that socializing is actually a very good way of getting rid of things. You go out there to meet new people, you grow your network, you grow your support network, you grow your social network. And eventually, when you start getting a bit more confident with it, you can start going back into women.
So what helps is like if you go about it that way, you may meet some really great guys and great girls that may set you up with one of their friends who happen to be like the perfect, not perfect, but like a better match with you.
Yeah, because they get to know you and
Exactly.
they think, they will match, and that works as well. I mean, it helps you as an introvert. It will help you to meet women. Yeah. For me, I personally didn't want that because I always felt like there was more issues if things didn't go right. I was happy just to go out there and meet my own women. But yeah, for guys who bottle things up and hide, I think it's great for them to go out and try to build a social network around them. Just speak to people. Where it's just having a few words here and there spoken. Don't worry about intense conversations. Just have a nice conversation, light conversation, exchange details, organize another time to meet up. It doesn't have to be related on women based on dating. It could just be guys you meet and other women you meet who you just feel like you can build a good friendship network with them.
I mean, the idea is that you develop yourself as a better person. Sometimes the easier way to go about it is meeting people of quality, people of access, so they can widen your horizons.
Yeah.
Then you may pick up new skills, you may pick up new hobbies. So sometimes what happens is the stagnation happens because you may have the same group of friends, and that same group of friends may be also friends with your ex. Okay?
Yeah.
So like it may be another reason for you to isolate yourself. So this could be another way of circumventing it. So you just go out and meet new people, try new things, because at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for, something new, something hopefully better. So that would lead you to become a happier person.
So we're talking about obviously there's more like self-focus, isn't it? Really? Yeah. And I do believe that this is a great time to sit down and start really getting to know who you are by doing things like this. You end up realizing, are you the type of person that can handle something like this in the correct manner?
Yeah.
Or are you just one just going to explode? And if you explode, look for help. Look for professional help. Look for guidance. Look for the one person you can go to and talk to about it. And if you're someone who can just get it, they can build these social circles around you, and networking around you, that's great. The one thing that I used to do, the one thing I did when I went through my breakup was I stopped doing the things I loved. Yeah. And I started just doing whatever it would make her happy and make me happy to be with her. But I got away and I stayed away from playing golf. I stayed away from doing things I enjoy, which was going out, meeting friends. So I made sure that when I went through my breakup, and I got over my crazy moment, I sat down and I really started focusing on myself, and I started doing the things I wanted to do. I started playing golf. I started going out playing. I played football as well, and then I was going out meeting up with friends, going for dinner, having lunches, and I started concentrating a little bit more on work. These are the things I did. I felt like they occupied my time enough for me to then just to build myself. And it grew me as a person. Anything else you want to add to that?
I mean, to be honest with you, I totally agree again, because there are two ways to deal with any sort of failure or life lesson. You can either let it break you further, okay, or you can make it help you to become stronger. So when you pick up your hobbies that you left off, or new hobbies, and try to become a better version of yourself, what you're doing actually is that you're dealing with the negative emotions and taking them in and turning them into something positive, something more productive. So what helped me, I think, getting through that period, and I wanted to be more constructive and more positive about it, is that I play guitar. So whenever I felt sad, instead of I would give myself time. I was like, I'm gonna be sad for about 30 minutes. It's okay, because it's human nature, and being sad and being upset or being disappointed in yourself, frustrated, it's okay. But there has to be a limit. And I would give myself about 30 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever. Then I would pick up my guitar and just play something, whether it's good or not. And then I would record it. It would take me an hour and two. By the time I realized what I was doing, I was feeling much better, and I turned that negative emotion into something positive. Some of my clients would keep a diary, or write poems, write little stories, or they take up painting, or it could be just about anything else. But the idea is that you take the negative emotion, turn it into something positive, and using it as a driving force to become a better version of you, and a happier version of you. So,
okay, so that's good. I mean, those things are positive. I mean, guys that struggle to do that, would you give them something you can give them, like maybe try doing this? I mean, the one thing I say to guys who struggle to speak to people is to go out and when you order coffee or you do something that involves speaking to a stranger, to actually make it an interaction rather than it being just an order. Instead of just ordering a coffee, ask them how their day is. Get to speak to them, talk about yourself a little bit, get comfortable, get used to doing this, and you can start sort of doing it. And that's something I always tell my guys who are very much bottled up and don't want to talk to anybody. The first step is to socialise with someone that you wouldn't normally socialise, that would be interested into talking to you because they don't get asked that question. Someone that works as a barista in a coffee shop doesn't get asked how they're doing.
So basically what you're saying is don't just be self-obsessed and self-centered, thinking you're the only one who has problems. Try to maybe...
Try to express, try to find out with someone else. Try to
invest some time in other people.
Yeah. And people invest their time in you, of course. I mean, like, the things, and those are the things I would do. The things that we would now tell guys to avoid doing is something that we hear some stories like, wow. One of the major ones is the stalking and pedestaling. Where you pedestal the girl that you were with, she was the best thing ever, the obsession about it, of that person, and the stalking. The social media stalking.
But you know the reason why? Is because breakup causes the same withdrawal symptoms as many of these substances like cocaine and what have you, heroin. It's just like our brains, the areas the brain lights up when you stop using these drugs and whatever, it's exactly the same areas that light up when you break up with someone. So what you want to do is you want to get another shot, another dose of that person. So you stalk them, try to get back with them, and you talk about them, you dream about them. So it's basically you're an addict and looking for that high again. But most people don't even realize it's an addiction, so they don't know how to deal with it. So if you're addicted, you wanna stop using that. What happens? So you need to stop taking that high. Just like you need to get away from the drug. So that's what we always say. So if the relationship is done, delete her, block her, everything, and do not think about it, and do everything we just mentioned. Go be social, considering yourself, etc.
I think one of the weird things I did was I dated 4 Charlottes in a row. And I think that was a bit weird. And it wasn't coincidence. It wasn't that I was looking for it. It was just that every girl I met that I was like, oh, she's cute, and we talked to her, was Charlotte. So the first Charlotte was where I did the damage really badly, and then I didn't get over that one. And the second one was the one that kind of helped me move on a little bit. And then the third one was the one I had a kid with, and there was a fourth one after her that kind of helped me get over this one. Now, a lot of guys do this obsession to the base of the point where when I did it, and I happily will admit I did this, but it wasn't based on that's what I was looking for. That when I'm on Tinder, I actually swipe left for anyone that's named Charlotte. So I just...
so you developed this negative stuff.
So I'm like, that's a weird obsession to have now. I'm like, so Charlotte? Nah. So one thing I did was I ended up dating all these Charlottes. That my friends used to joke about it, and
a friend of mine used dating Annas. There were like 6 of them in a row. So funny.
But some people do that based on the obsession of the person. That one person that makes them feel like they need to date all these women Annas until they find the right one. And everyone said, oh, did you do that because they want to call out their name wrongly in bed? I was like, no, I only ever called one person wrongly in bed once.
You know what I did? And he was like, do you remember? And I was like, next to his current girlfriend, and happens with like his wife now. I was like, which one? That kind of opened a particular can of worms.
Wow.
Yeah. And obviously Anna was like, what do you mean? Which one? I was like,
I mean, I dated a girl called Andra, and she was amazing girl. But when we got into an argument, I called her Charlotte. I called her Charlie. Oh my God. And that was the only time I got the name wrong. I never got it wrong in bed. I don't call out people's names in bed just in case. It's just sometimes I'm like, is that really her name?
Hey honey, what's up?
No.
Say my name. I don't really do that.
And that's one of the ones I did. What other guys do is that when they meet a girl who's a good girl, they do a natural order, which is, they compare them to their exes.
Yeah.
And I did that with one, but I never did it with anyone else. And it was something I did when I was very young. But it happens a lot where guys do that. And it's and I don't understand the reason why I did it. I don't know whether it was more of a comfort thing, and I was very comfortable with the person I was with, so I wanted that person to just continue that rich vein of form, I suppose, that she was in, and then for me it would just feel like I'm continuing that journey.
Or it could be just that putting people on a pedestal. Because when you broke up with her, all her mistakes just disappeared from your memory.
Yeah.
And then everything else just started shining. She just became like this.
I got back one of my exes, and I realized why we broke up. And trust me, like, it's true. When you break up, you're like, there was nothing wrong with her. She's perfect. And then when you get back, 2 weeks later, you're like, that's why I broke up with you. I get it now. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks. It's over now. Properly. I realized why we broke up. And that happened quite recently with a girl who beat up someone I know in a bar, and that was a bit weird. So if you're watching,
that one.
and it was. We got back together, and about I think it was like 3 weeks later, I realized in my head why I didn't want to be with this girl. And then we did this again. We met up not long ago. We spoke, and within like 3 hours or 4 hours, I realized why I didn't want to be with her again. It was like this constant reminder. Sorry, we're never going to be together again. But that's something that happened.
But like, let's just be honest. You particularly like drama.
I do.
Your drama, yeah.
I do.
So we just like, some people love drama. So there's like
I
maybe
do.
I don't know how. Like, I think it's a very minority thinking. But
I don't know why, but I love it. I don't know why I bring it in.
I think
I'm not a dramatic kind of guy. I just like drama.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, dealing with issue like something like looks insurmountable gives you that feeling of power. Like, this is something says almost impossible to deal with. And you're like, I'm the man, maybe.
As you can see,
guys, it's just he likes a bit of spice.
Yeah, like the reason why we do avoids and don't do's is because I've done them and I can talk about them quite happily. Don't do it, guys. Yeah. Trust me. You'll keep more hair than I did. So
see, I hate drama. I stay away from drama like that.
And like the other thing is that the one thing you shouldn't do, and I agree with this, and we wrote this down, and I've been looking at it here, which is why my head keeps going down, is don't put the blame on anything that's her and you, purely on her and you. Because you shouldn't take all the blame for something, and she shouldn't be given all the blame for something.
Yeah, I mean, it takes two people for a tango.
2 to tango.
Yeah.
And 2 to destroy a freaking relationship. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of my breakups, I have blamed the person, and you get this lot, and I swear, guys, if you don't get me this, if you don't understand, please go on to Tinder. The first person you match up who's quite pretty, message her and ask her why she's single. And she, with every other girl that's on there, would be like, the guy did this, the guy did that, he was an arsehole, he did this. And I'm like, wow. So in that case, you should be the perfect person. It's like that when we meet, I should just be wanting to drop on a knee and want to marry you. And as soon as you meet them, you realize that everything they said, they've just blamed that person.
Yeah.
And it's a toxic addiction to want to do that, to blame, set blames on them, or take pity on yourself and blame yourself for everything. So those are the two things you shouldn't do. You should look at it on, like you say, as an outsider looking in, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like, you have to be as objective as possible. That's the only way to grow. I mean, if you cannot see your own mistakes, you can correct them. Yeah. And if you think the other person is at blame, and then you can't really quantify it, and the next time you meet someone, that person will most likely be a copy of the previous person, but you won't even see it because you can't really quantify the mistake. So the idea is you don't really make the same mistake more than twice, or more than once, unless she's really hot. But In that case, just you make it as many times as you can. But the idea is that you don't really want to make the same mistake again, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, true. I mean, look, I've gone through it. I've had so many encounters where I quite happily wish it never did. But it happens. So guys, look, if you've got any questions, please ask us.
Yeah.
And continue with the topics that you want us to talk about. The guys I send messages to, please, reply back. Let me know what you think about this video, and we'll invite and give me some ideas for new topics we can talk about other videos.
Yeah.
We already got a few coming down, so stay tuned. Sorry for the delay in the video. We've been away. Ali turned into an uncle.
Yes, and it's such an amazing feeling. So.
And I'm going through sort of a health crisis at the moment, so I'm dealing with now and again. And got myself a tattoo.
Yeah, and a mohawk.
And a mohawk.
I'm not really sure which one is. Okay, let's not go there.
It was an accident, but it happened anyway.
Yeah. Which one, tattoo or the hair?